Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGenEd. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts. And so this is Crypto Corner Sat Stacker for Saturday, July 5th. And, I do this every Saturday going over about 19 different cryptocurrencies, really just based on this thesis that's outlined here, which is based on this ETHster video that I put out on Easter on April 20th. Here is the link to that also in the description of this video. And if you do want an overview of this thesis that I have laid out here, you can check that out. Also linked in the description to the last video, the last Crypto Corner Sat Stacker that I did go over that thesis. But generally, I think that Ethereum could be hitting $8,000 by the end of this year after hitting this low of 1,400. And, I do try to add new memes here every week, or if something does pop up, just people being really bearish on Ethereum. And so last week, I did see one from Beeple about Ethereum being at 2,500 forever, with there being this tortoise, futuristic tortoise that's giant, with a sign, stick and carrot, being with the number there of $2,500. Shortly after that, Ethereum hit around 2,600, but then I think it has pulled back some. But we will go over the Ethereum chart in a minute. Also, just to scroll up here real quick, this is kind of that thesis that I outlined in that prior video, so you can check it out if you'd like. One thing to note is that the savings of 4%, I realized that if you get 4.1% APY on USDC in Coinbase, and so I might actually be utilizing that to take advantage of that 4.1%, and then just to have some cash in my Coinbase account to buy dips if they do happen. And I should also note there is a link in the description of the video to Coinbase, as well as all of the other exchanges that I do use, so you can check those out. But I should note that I do store all of my crypto, at least for the most part, the majority of it, on my Trezor hardware wallets. I've got the Model 1 as well as the Safe 3 for storing these. But that's pretty much, all I really wanted to get into before diving into the tickers. Going to try to make this video a little bit shorter than they usually are, just because I've been working outside a lot, and I need to get back to it, and I'm pretty tired as a result of all of that. But yeah, this is the spreadsheet I go over every week with my averages of these cryptos on the side here, and so we will see what my percent P&L, my percent profit and or loss is on these. Majority of them I'm down on, and then I will go over daily dollar cost averages and or dips that I do plan on placing over the course of the next week. But yeah, we will go into that based on the tickers over here. And so the first one that we're going to be starting with is Bitcoin, as always, at the top of the list. And that is ticker symbol BTC, as I'm sure you know. And let's just populate the market cap data there. Just so we can do kind of a comparison for where it was at last week. And so here I've got coin market cap, Bitcoin always at the top, and we can see the market cap right here. So I don't imagine that copied because it changed before I clicked the button. So yeah, I'm just going to copy that number over here, paste it, and divide it by 1 million. And so we can see that the market cap did go up over the past week, and it's currently at, $2.15 trillion market cap, and last week on June 26th, it was at 2.13. So went up just a little bit, but not a crazy amount. And then now let's look at the closing price for Bitcoin for Friday, July 4th. By the way, happy 4th of July. Hopefully you all are having a really nice weekend, long weekend, enjoying some fireworks, some barbecuing, grilling, all of that. And just enjoying your time. But then looking over here, Bitcoin closed at a price of 108 2860. So 108 2860, 108 2860, 108 2860. Okay, so that's it. Price did go up over the past week. It looks like it was at 107 last Friday at close, and it looks like I am up about 23% on my Bitcoin position. I typically do $40 daily dollar cost average, and that's just how I've been accumulating. And my average looks like it's in the upper 80s. I wonder actually if, my average here is like a level that it could dip to. So, maybe. And then last week I did suggest, or I did, indicate that I'd potentially be placing two $250 dip buy orders, one at $99,999 and then also at $97,000. But I didn't place those just because I didn't think they'd get hit, and I just kind of didn't want to be too aggressive with these larger dip buys. But yeah, we can look at the chart to see. I'm probably going to adjust that dip buy to be one price at $250. But yeah, we can just come over here and see that there has been, this parallel channel that Bitcoin has been trading in. Maybe I want to extend this a little bit further forward. But really, what we can see is there have been no closes above that downtrend until, now let's see, Thursday on the 3rd, we did get a close. Actually, and maybe you could argue Wednesday closed basically at that level. No closes below it. And so when retesting that line, that level, those have been nice dip buying opportunities. And so if we were to pull back to that downtrending parallel based on, the bottom here, and then also this is, I think, 10%. Let's see, actually, I'm not too familiar with these trends. But yeah, it looks like a 10%. And then I've also got the 50% marked in the middle there. So kind of that range, plus or minus 10%, could be coming down to around 100,000 or maybe, a little bit lower. So potentially a $99,999 order would get filled down there. But what I might want to do is maybe check out this Fibonacci retracement, see where that goes up to. That does look like it is at the top over here. I'm just going to drag it forward a little bit into the future, and we can see that the 382 retracement there. And I've been placing these in the middle, but I might actually want to place them on the right side because there's never going to be anything obstructing that. So that kind of makes sense for having the levels on the right side there. And so yeah, the 382 is around $97,600. And let's see, what are these, Fibonacci extensions? This one, I would need to pull that up a little bit. And yeah, that doesn't really add too much. Just that 97,600, is basically the 100% extension from that. So I am probably just going to delete that just so it's not cluttering the chart too much. Although, this one does look like it was a very nice level to dip by just below 99,000 over here on June 22nd, when the low was $98,225.01. But yeah, maybe we are consolidating here before we start to head higher, maybe to find some resistance around 112,000. Corresponding with that orange uptrend, going back in time some. But maybe we go a little bit higher, maybe getting up to around, let's see, I just got to move this out of the way. Oh, no, actually, I got to, there we go. That would be around about $116,000. But maybe we go even higher, and I'm going to have to adjust the axis here to show where that next level up could be. And so this is the 100% Fibonacci extension, going from the low here up to the high here, and then pulling back. But where did I pull back to? Let's just see over here. So that's really just to suggest that the low would be around 97,600. And let's just say that it's actually, that's a little bit more conservative actually. So I'll probably just leave it there with the assumption that we do pull back to around 98,000, somewhere around there, that the price target for Bitcoin could be, I'd say, in the range between $130,000 to $140,000. So, and maybe actually, I don't just want to, draw this based on nothing. Oh, and actually, well, it is based on that low over there. It's not based on retracing to that 382. It's based on the low that we hit on June 22nd. So that's around 135 or 136,000, but maybe a fill at 136,000. An order wouldn't get filled at 136,000, so maybe like 135 would be a good level. So with that being said, oops, I wanted to go over to the weeklies. I am just going to adjust this to be, one order there. And that is one that I do need to place. I'll leave that as black because I do plan on placing it, but I need to make it yellow. And then a trim still at 135. But for Bitcoin, I don't plan on trimming at 135. I plan on, this being my retirement fund effectively. So I would just hodl or hodl if it does go up to 135. Unless maybe, something else out of the ordinary comes up, then I might consider trimming up there. Maybe a life-changing scenario or something like that. Maybe I would. But yeah, the next one on the list now, let's take a look over at Ethereum, ticker symbol ETH, the one that really got me excited about doing these crypto corner sat stackers. And yeah, let's check out what the market cap is for ETH. Always the number 2. Maybe that will change though. But yeah, let's just copy that number there, about $300 billion. And I got that over there. So yeah, 302 did go up from, actually we can check did it go up from last week after I add the closing price from Friday, July 4th, which was at 2508.80. 2508.80. And so it looks like it did go up over the course of the past week. So last week it was sub $300 billion market cap, and the price was around 2,400. Now it is at, let's see, 2,500 there, just like, what Beeple was saying. And yeah, so with this one, I am up, it looks like about 14% on it. And my average is just under $2,200. I was buying when it was at $1,400, but over time that average has gone up. And that was really just like the beginning of me starting to buy more aggressively. So that's why my average is a little bit higher. And so my daily DCA strategy with Ethereum is $36.25, which ends up being, since it's purchased with Robinhood, and they tend to give you a little bit back, or, don't fill exactly, whatever price you have set. So my fills are usually a total of $35.90 or $35.89. And that totals $250 over the course of the week. And I forgot to change this. For Bitcoin, I need to make that yellow, so I know I do need to place that one there. Yeah, so with this, I did have 2 levels that I was thinking about with Ethereum to dip by at, one at 2,300, another at 2,050. And, so I'm going to adjust that to be just one of those. And, we'll have to look at the chart to see, because I was thinking I'd just do 2,300, but considering my average, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my thesis is incorrect and it doesn't go to 8,000 by the end of the year. Maybe it doesn't, or it takes longer to get there, not by the end of the year. And so maybe I don't want to be as aggressive, and maybe I should be buying the dip if it goes below my average. So that might actually be a better strategy for Ethereum, but we can look at the chart over here, and yeah, it does look like Got this uptrend, this white uptrend here that was acting as support, did dip below it, close below it one day on June 22nd, but then bounced up, and then do have these this uptrend here that was acting as support, and we are now, right about at that level at around 25. Excuse me, $2,500. Still back in this parallel channel that I have drawn there. It's really just like this horizontal channel there. So still within that range. Interesting, maybe I want to add this, is that there is this now kind of downtrending level there. No closes above it, so maybe that's important. Maybe we break out, maybe we break down. I don't know. I do have 2,300, 23 actually marked over here, which was the low from May 18th, a low of $2,323, $2,323.00. And that also corresponds with the Fibonacci retracement over here with that 382 at 2309.45. I am just going to adjust that retracement so we see the numbers on the right hand side, just so we can see them right over here. And let's see, do I need to adjust that? Nope, goes up to the high over here, so that looks good. So like a pullback level for this, maybe we do get back to 2133.65 as the 50% retracement. Maybe we could go even lower to around 2,000. So, and that would be the 618. And yeah, I could actually see that happening. 2,000, because this yellow trend line goes back to the lows over here that were support, acted as support over here, and what I was initially looking at with Ethereum potentially bottoming was that to potentially act as support, but we did break lower, and now we're above it, but maybe we broke that trend line. Then once we broke back above it, as Gareth Soloway likes to talk about, a retrace to the scene of the crime, that would be coming down to around $2,000. So maybe that's actually a more conservative level for me to consider. And then also if we think about Bitcoin, 88, that's my average, is the 618 for Bitcoin. So I don't know, maybe that's a sign. Bitcoin, I would be happy to get more aggressive if it goes below 100,000. Ethereum, though, I don't necessarily want to get my average down. So, I think that 2150, that would be getting my average down, but maybe it comes down to 2,000. Maybe I don't get a fill at 2,000, so maybe 2,100. And so the dip by levels that I had previously, or that I was considering, 2,300 and 2,050, maybe I just want to do a 2,100. Kind of splits the difference here between these in case it doesn't go all the way down to that 618. So yeah, I kind of like that. So let's go over to the weekly here and just do 2,100. So I kind of like that. And I will place that there. What's the trim level, though, to the upside, which I do not plan on trimming my Ethereum, at least not until at least getting to like $6,000. But because of these videos, I might try to hold myself, more accountable for diamond handing until the target of 8,000 is hit, or, close to it. Maybe, I'd want to get out at 7,690 or $7,694.20. Something like that. That seems fun. And it's getting pretty close to 8,000. But, the trim levels here, this is based on, maybe if I'm thinking it's going to come down to 2,000. Let's not make assumptions. Just with the low that we had hit there, the 100% level is going to be 3,000 3,600. But maybe that doesn't get a fill because that's actually 3,599.35. So maybe a more conservative level to trim at is 3,500 because maybe we see Ethereum do something like this, but then pull back and then go higher. So I think that seems totally fine. So let's look at this. Oh, 36. Well, if I left it at 36, maybe I'll just leave it at 36 because if I change this, then 35. I'll just leave it at 36. I'm fine. I don't care. Trim, yeah. I don't need to highlight those. Just gonna leave them alone. That's fine. And yeah, so with that being said, covering ETH, let's now go over Dogecoin, ticker symbol DOGE. And let's check out the market cap for Doge. If I come over here, it looks like it's ranked number 9 for coin market cap, around $24 billion. Is that right? That's pretty insane. That's a pretty large amount of money for a silly meme coin. And it looks like it came down last week, so we will have to check that out. It did hit a high above my average, which makes me think I should have trimmed at my average or something. Maybe that's something to consider. But I like Doge, so I don't really want to do that. But yeah, let's come over back to the ETH chart. Now I'm just going to throw up Dogecoin, which is going to be, I want to see the Binance data, but on the US dollar, so right here. And before I adjust that fib, let's look at the closing price from July 4th. That was $16.33. So that actually went up while market cap went down a little. Went down a little bit. So 24,500, 16.16. So 24, I mean, it's basically flat over the past week. Price went up a little bit, market cap went down a little bit. And also, I mean, these are not taken at the exact same time. This is the current market cap. This is the closing price from yesterday. And as I had mentioned, price did go above my average, which is around 1740. Looks like I'm down about 6%. And yeah, it did go up to as high as, let's see, 1764. I probably wouldn't have gotten a fill at my average of 1740, so no big deal if I did want to trim, at break even. But that was on July 3rd. And then just to adjust this, Fibonacci to include the labels on the right-hand side. We got that there. And just making sure that I did do this retracement all the way up to the top there. And let's just see, that looks good. And so, like, the 786 is around 16 cents. So I feel like 16 cents is, a dip by level for Doge. And, so what do I have, or what did I have for Doge? 15 cents, actually. And so the level that was hit on June 22nd, the low was 14.30. But we do have this white uptrend here that could be suggesting that we are putting in higher lows. And if we are to maintain that higher lows, I'd say, 16 would be, potential. Actually, 15 could still be it. So yeah, I'd say that 15 is still, a fine level. But I'm probably going to leave that red because I don't necessarily plan on, I need to be a little bit less aggressive with buying the dips and stuff. But let's just see where this could be going to the upside. This is probably the exact same, low from over here. It'll be around 27 cents. And so that is what I had over here. So for the weekly stuff, I can leave that alone. And I am going to just type in check mark to do that. And so I've got that there. My alerts are placed. I don't need to worry about them because I didn't change anything, but I will need to adjust my order to trim a little bit at 27 cents if it does go up there, but it may not, at least not over the course of the next week. And yeah, so I mean, that's Doge. And now we'll look at the next one. I would say arguably, I was going to say this is the biggest shitcoin on here, but it may actually not be. I'm not sure. Anyways, this is iExec, ticker symbol RLC. The coin market cap, let's check it out. This is going to be near the bottom of the list, actually at the bottom of the list here, ranked 434 in coin market cap, around $64 million. Very small market cap, very speculative. I think that this one could be going to zero, so like I need to be preparing myself for that possibility, but I am also trying to get my average down because, you know, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. So RLC right here, Coinbase. We can see all the stuff that I drew here, but what I really just want to look at is the closing price from July 4th, which was at 88.48. 88.48. And so over the course of the past week, let's see, 64 million right now. I was at 66, and you know, the price was 89. And so now it's a little bit lower than that. And so I forgot to color the screen. My dip buy level for RLC was, if we look at it, 90 cents. I did place that order. I did fill it, and I also have to adjust this for Ethereum. Need to place that order, so I'll make it yellow. But yeah, so this is $100 that was filled because it did dip down to actually below 90 cents. Yeah, I mean, I did get that fill, and I will place another dip buy order for $100, just trying to get my average down, because like last week, my average was 192. Now it's 183. So just really trying to get that down. You know, I was down, let's see, 53%. Now I'm down 52%. So it's kind of, you know, flat because price did come down, but I really just want to get that average down so I can really trim aggressively when it does come to my level, which last week was at 230. But let's look at the chart to see both levels to the upside and downside that RLC could be going to. So over here, you know, I'm just going to adjust this retracement so it has the levels on the right-hand side. And so let's look at this. We actually went higher. And so, with that being said, let's just adjust this over here. The 382 is around 89.74 cents. But let's see, 87.47 cents is the 50% retracement. We did test that on the 4th, hitting a low of 87.32 cents. I don't know that like that those levels would be filled. But let's say this does come down to like 88 cents, which it's trading just above. But yeah, I mean, since I did buy at 90 cents last week, I think the next level would be to buy or to add at 88 cents. Although, you know, maybe this does come down to like 85 or lower, you know, that would just be a level to add on the next week. But yeah, so 88 cents is going to be the level for RLC. For the dip buy, I need to place that order, so I'm going to make it yellow. And let's see, what's the trim level? So the trim level that I see for this, you know, it's really, you know, it should be my average, which is 183, but let's say, you know, maybe it goes a little bit higher. So I have 230 marked here. Why 230? Why 230? What are these levels here? Okay, so it's based on this move up to here and then down. Because this is lower than over here. It's a lower low. So the 100% extension is going to be higher up. But that 786 is around 230. But to be honest, I should probably just trim it $2 because my average is below there. I think that's going to be a psychological level. Or actually, maybe I want to do it a little bit lower. So what are like the consolidation highs over here? So like what was the closing price on November 11th of 2024? The closing price was 186.11. So I might just do a horizontal. Like I said, 186.11. And so I'm going to just, let's see, the coordinates 186.11. And let's see the style. I want this to be red because I want to, trim. I mean, I want to trim pretty heavily on this. So that would be more or less like an exit. I would exit the majority of my position, but leave a small amount behind. We can see, that did act as, basically resistance over here as well. A little bit lower here, some resistance. But then, kind of got a double top here before breaking out, pulled back, testing that level before bouncing, and then broke below it, tested it. So, yeah, I mean, I think 186 is a good level to be considering for trimming more aggressively. And let's see, 186, that is going to be above my average. I did change that though, so I need to mark that there. But yeah, my average is 183. So if I continue to get my average down, I'd be making some profit, at 186. And that does seem like, I mean, look at the chart. That seems like, a legit level. Is resistance over here effectively. 180, somewhere around there. 186. Yeah, and so if I do get my average down, like notably below 180, maybe I just want to make my exit at 180. Or my trim, I should say, not my exit, my trim, because I would still hold a little bit just to, why not see what happens. But yeah, so I mean, I think that's pretty much it for RLC. And so now let's continue on to the next one, which is Ethereum Classic, ticker symbol ETC. And let's take a look over at the market cap for Ethereum Classic, ranked number 37. It's about $2.4 billion market cap. So let's just paste that number over here. And now let's look at the closing price from Friday, July 4th, the 4th of July. So it did pull back some, it looks like, closing on the 4th at a price of $16.29. So $16.29 here. It did go up a little bit, but, it has, pulled back a little bit more. So that's probably why. So last week, what was the market cap? This week, about 2.5 billion. Last week it was 2.71. Now 2.471. Now it's 2.6467. So just a little bit lower, effectively flat. And it does look like I'm down about 24% on my position with an average of around $21.49. I guess I should have noted this with Doge. That I was doing a daily dollar cost average. I also was with Ethereum Classic, but maybe I actually want to pause both of those because, or maybe not Ethereum Classic, but with Doge, I'm only down 6%. So I don't really think that I need to be, but I like Doge. So we'll leave it for now, but yeah, Ethereum Classic, though, being down 24%, I think it's probably fine for me to leave that $1 daily dollar cost average there. But yeah, 21.49. My levels for Ethereum Classic were $15, which I was not planning on buying the dip, but that was just a level, and then 22 to the upside. So let's see. 15, what was the low here on June 22nd? The low is 14.49, corresponding very nicely with the 786 here. I'm just going to adjust that so we see the levels on the right, the numbers on the right there. And I probably do want to extend this out a little bit. There we go. And let's see, 1585 is that 618. 1446 is the 786. And what was that low? 1449. So yeah, I think that, yeah, I mean, 15 seems like a fine dip buy level for Ethereum Classic. And if I were to check this, the 100% move to the upside is still around 22 here. It looks like 22.75. So what I might want to do is, both of those are fine. So I got my alert set on this. So I'm just going to copy this one, place that there. Orders. Do I need to place orders? Yeah, I mean, I will figure out if I want to buy those over the course of the next week. And I'll just do that based on the other positions, because I don't really want to be super aggressive. And if these down here, I'm down less than 20%, then I probably want to go on, put those on hold. But yeah, let's check out the next one on the list, which is going to be Ondo, ticker symbol ONDO. And let's check out the market cap for Ondo, ranked number 38. We can see it's about $2.4 billion. And let's just copy that, paste it. Oops. Paste it right there. And that actually went up a little bit over the course of the past week. And let's look at Ondo over here. Let's just see that closing price from yesterday, July 4th. That was 77.506. So 77.506. Up since last week. And we can see that. It looks like I'm down about 11%. This is one that I was planning on placing a dip buy order for $100, but I didn't because my level was not hit, which was 70 cents. And so what was the low over the course of the past week? It looks like it had to have been around July 2nd. The low was 73.4 cents, or it was actually a little bit lower on July 1st, which was 73.354 cents. So that would have been the low. So didn't quite hit 70. And why would I pick 70? Here, this green line is about 66 cents. Very nice dip level there. But yeah, let's see, 70 cents. I don't know, but I can see we do have this uptrend here. We are trading right around it. I could see, a retest of that level would be around 75, 76 cents. Since I didn't buy last week, maybe I want to be a little bit more aggressive with Ondo. And maybe I'll just do a Fibonacci retracement here. A little baby one. And so it doesn't show much there. I just kind of wanted to see the 236. Where is that at? That's around 77, currently right around there. Let's look at the 382. It's around 74. Maybe we dip to that. Yeah, I mean, we could dip below 76, maybe to 75. Yeah, because what were the lows? So I don't want that up there anymore. What were the lows over here? 73 to 74. So yeah, I mean, I think that 75 is a level that Ondo could come to. So I'm going to adjust this to 75. This is one that I would buy, and I need to make sure I act on that. What's a trim level for Ondo? It's probably not going to be changed. Do have this Fibonacci extension drawn up here because it did hit a lower low. That 100% extension is going to be lower than the high over here, and I need to adjust these Fibonacci retracements and extensions to have the numbers on the right hand side. just so I can see them a little bit better. And so that 100% is right around 109. So that's why I have that level there. So that is good. That would be, trim level. I don't have an alert or anything placed on it, but yeah, I mean, that's, it's nothing too complicated there. But yeah, 75 cents. Maybe I want to, go after it this week since I didn't last week. But yeah, coming back over to here, let's check out the next one on the list, which is going to be Litecoin, ticker symbol LTC. And let's check out the market cap for Litecoin, which is ranked number 20. The market cap of around 6.5 billion. Oops. Copied link. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to just copy the text. There we go. Cool. So let's paste that here. Looks like it went up a little bit over the course of the past week. And this is Litecoin. So I will come down to Litecoin Coinbase US dollar. And the closing price from yesterday, July 4th, was 86.87. Looks like that also went up from last week. But really, I mean, it's kind of just flat. So I know it went up a little bit, a couple bucks. So yeah, there's something there. And it looks like, I'm down about 12% on that position. And maybe that's justification for why I shouldn't be buying Ondo, because it's higher up on the list. But, that's kind of my fun one, Ondo. So, yeah. Anyways, Litecoin down 12%. Average is below $100. And my dip buy level for last week, my add level, which I was not planning on adding at, was $73. What was the low for last week on July 1st? The low was $82.42. It's actually looking pretty good. And then if I do adjust this to include the numbers on the right there, and then I'm just going to extend this out a little bit. We can see, it's just above the 50% retracement there, right around 85.15. Currently trading at like 86.50, somewhere around there. What was the dip level? It was suggesting 73. That would be coming down to the 786 here. So yeah, I mean, I think that's a fine dip level to maybe go a little more aggressive on if I wanted to. But then, 119 is the level up here. Again, I need to adjust that to be on the right side. And we can see that extension still with the same low. Just going to extend it to the right a little bit. That's around 119. Is that the same that I have? Yep. So I don't really need to adjust the Litecoin details at all. One thing that I might do with the chart, though, is just draw a trend line, kind of suggesting that, hey, maybe it's, forming at some support or above some support there, as we have not seen any closes below that level, or at least, maybe we saw one close, two closes right at that level, but nothing really below it. And yeah, so let's just see over from the weeklies. I can do that for Litecoin, and I'm going to say, I should probably just copy this. There we go. Not applicable. I'm not placing an order with that because, I'm Litecoin down only, Litecoin. Yeah, down only 12%. So I don't need to be adding to that. Maybe that's also justification for not needing to add to Ondo. So, but yeah, I mean, if it comes to my level, I didn't buy last week, so I think that's probably fine. Yeah, and then so the next one's going to be Solana, ticker symbol SOL. And looking over here at the market cap, is going to be much higher on the list, ranked number 6 at $78 billion. I don't think that copied, so $78 billion right there. Came down a little bit. Let's check out the current price of SOL. Solana futures, US dollar Coinbase. Okay, and so the closing price from yesterday was 147.74. 147.74. Looks like that went up a little bit. I am basically at break even, down 1%. Over the course of the past week, Solana did come down a little bit as far as market cap goes, but the price, yeah, it went up. So let's see. The dip buyer ad level would be $120. Why would I think that? Let's also adjust this fib retracement while we're at it. Why would I think 120? Let's see. So if I just extend this over a little bit, 120, that would be like saying, I think it's going lower than 130, which is the 618, but maybe not getting to the 786. So I think that 120 is a fine level there. 217 is the level to the upside. And this, again, I'm just going to adjust this to be on the right. And let's see, for that, just extending this over. That's 217 at 76. So let's see, sold 217. I think that's good. So looking at this, my alerts should be placed. I'm not planning on placing an order, so I'll just leave that like that. And now we can check out the next one on the list, which is going to be XRP, or Ripple, ticker symbol XRP. So the coin market cap for Ripple, ranked number 4, is going to be around $130 billion. Oops. And let's just check out the price now. XRP. Oops, not SRP, XRP. And I want to do this US dollar on Coinbase. And so the closing price for yesterday, the 4th of July, was 222.11. So 222.11. Looks like that did go up over the course of the past week, market cap as well as the price. And let's see, the dip buy level that I had for Solana was 120. And, or sorry, this is not Solana, XRP is 190. And so that will be based on, similar argument with, or justification with Solana is that, breaking below the 618, but not getting all the way to the 786, which would be at 184, basically. And I'm just going to adjust this so labels are on the right-hand side. And then, yeah, so 190 is the level that I had for XRP. I think that's fine. And the level to the upside, that is going to be about $3. What did I have marked here for XRP? 295. And that is actually, the 100% extension here. That is around 295. So I think that's fine for XRP as well. So I'm just going to do this. That's unchanged. And then now we can look at the next one on the list, which is going to be Cardano, ticker symbol ADA. And so let's look over at the market cap, ranked number 10. That's around $20 billion market cap. And so I'm just going to paste that over here. And now checking out the price. And I want to be looking at the Coinbase in US dollars. And so the closing price for yesterday on the 4th was 57.27. So 57.27. Is that right? 57.26. All right. And so, it does look like it did go up over the past week from 20 billion to 57. Yep, so it went up. And let's see, my average for Cardano, down 17%. So like of this trio, these are the ones that I'm not able to hold on my Model 1, my Trezor Model 1 wallet, but I can hold on my Model, or my Safe 3, Trezor Safe 3. And it looks like I'm in worse shape with my Cardano position, down 17%, but not down 20%. So this, I'll leave the $1 there because that is one, I feel like I am a little bit more confident in Cardano than these other ones down here. So maybe I want to leave that, but that's something that I will consider. And then let's look over at the dip buy level or the add level is 52 cents. And let's just see from this Fibonacci retracement, just going to adjust that and then pull that over so we can see it a little bit better. We are below the 786 at like 58.74. Currently trading at 57 cents. And what did I say the dip level was for Cardano? 52 cents. And so what's that based on? Got this green line here like 56. Let's see the low over here. Just shy of 52. So this is at 51.01 was the low hit on June 22nd. Maybe we're putting in higher lows. We are putting in higher lows. So, 52. I think that's reasonable. And the other level that I have was 86 to the upside. And so I'm also going to adjust this so we can see the number on the right. 86. And I don't think that I need to adjust that. I'm just going to extend it out into the future a little bit, but still maintaining that same low there. Around 86 cents. So for Cardano, that's fine. Oops. And so I'm just going to go over to this. Cardano, I can leave that alone. So that's nice. And then let's see. What's the next one on the list? It might be a different one. Aave is going to be next, so I will cut this and move that up there. And so let's check out Aave, ticker symbol AAVE, and let's look at the market cap. Aave has actually been a pretty good performer. Very impressed with this one. Ranked at number 28 here in CoinMarketCap, around $4 billion. So copy that number and paste it over here. And it looks like it went up a little bit over the course of the past week. And let's just look at the chart. Aave US dollars on Coinbase. And we can see that the closing price for Aave on the 4th was $265.82. So $265.82. And let's see. Aave was sub $4 billion market cap, around $259 last week, and now it's above $265, over $4 billion market cap. Looks like I'm down only about 2% on this one. And this actually, last week in the video, I talked about doing a $1 daily DCA, but then I adjusted that to be for Uniswap because I was down the most and I didn't want to be increasing my average with Aave, but then it did dip to, I believe, let's see what was the dip level for Aave, 195. No, it actually dipped to the closing price, let's see, Aave of like around 260. And so I did add at 260, and I believe that was a low. But because it's right around my average, I'm not going to do a daily or a dip buy for Aave. And so I will leave that, or I will adjust that. I'll have to cancel any orders that I had there. And so let's see. Yeah, what did it do over the past week? Let's see, the low on the 2nd, it looks like, was 257.30. So I got a dip buy fill there. And then, looking at this Fibonacci retracement, I'm just going to adjust this over here. And I'll just extend it a little bit over here, but still keeping that high up there. We had previously retraced to the 50%. Now we're bouncing. Maybe we could come down to 618. That's around 194. Maybe don't get a fill at 194. So I think that's why I've got 195 as a dip buy level there. 380, it looks like it's the level to the upside, which looks like it corresponds with the 786 extension. That's at 380. I'm just going to adjust this to have the lines on, or the labels on the right. And I'm also going to make sure that did come down to that low. Yep, so that looks good. 380 seems fine. Maybe I also just want to do it like that. So yeah, 380, so that is for Aave. I think that's fine. Not going to be doing anything with that. Ooh, and actually, I think for Cardano, I was thinking about something with that. So we'll need to consider that because Cardano, yep, I got that there, so I need to think about it. But yeah, the next one on the list is going to be Stellar Lumens, or ticker symbol XLM. And so let's check out the market cap for them. That's going to be ranked number 17 at about $7.2 billion market cap. Oh, I don't think it copied. Almost 3 billion, 7.29, something like that. Looks like it came down a little bit over the past week. And let's check out the price for XLM. US dollar on Coinbase. And so yeah, the closing price on the 4th was 237707. So 237707. Looks like that went up a little bit. 2377 and 74237. Yes, so I mean it's flat more or less over the course of the past week. And so my dip level, I guess I should note my average is around 36 cents. I am down 33%, so I do think that's a good one for me to continue doing daily dollar cost average, get my average down. And my dip buy, or my add more aggressive level, is going to be around 23 cents. It's right around 23 cents. So, yeah, I mean, it's currently trading around 23.59. It did hit a low of sub 23 last week. On the 1st, it was 22.2854. So maybe I should have just had a dip buy level there, or a dip order place rather than daily dollar cost averaging. My average would be a little bit lower. But yeah, I mean, 23 is what I have for that. I think that's fine. And 35 is the level to the upside. But before I do that, I'm just going to, adjust that to be on the right. And also I want to extend that forward a little bit. And we have been testing the 786 around 23. So it's a pretty massive pullback there. And then for this fib extension, let's see, I am still down to that low. But it looks like that's around 35 cents. And so I have the XLM 35 cents. So that's good. That's probably one I still want to keep adding to. And so that's XLM. So I'll do that here. Cut that and paste it right there. Okay. So now we've done XLM. The next one is going to be Chainlink, ticker symbol LINK. And so let's look over at the market cap for Chainlink. It's going to be higher up here, ranked number 14 at $8.8 billion market cap. Oops. There we go. Looks like it came down a little bit over the past week. And let's see, this is on US dollar on Coinbase. So we can see that the closing price on the 4th was 13.173. 13.17.3. Actually went up a little bit. Chainlink last week was 13.06, 9 billion. So that did come down a little bit. And yeah, it does look like my average is, below 20%. So I probably want to do a $1 daily DCA. My average is at 19 cents. But let's just see what the dip buy levels for Link. That'd be 12 bucks. It's currently trading at around 13. 12 would correspond to this 786 here, which I need to adjust so the labels are on the right. And I actually probably want to extend that into the future a little bit. And so yeah, 12 cents seems reasonable. And then to the upside, we got this Fibonacci extension, and that is going to be based on, the pivot low over here, and I don't really need to adjust that into the future at all. That's around 18 to 17 cents, and so I have Link marked at 18 to 19 cents, and I have that at 19, probably corresponding with, the halfway point between these levels, like the consolidation lows over here. That was some support, could be acting as resistance again, so between 18 and 19. Between 18 and 20, really. So 19, I think that's fine. So I will leave those alone. Alerts are placed, but I might actually want to place a buy order. Daily DCA for Link. And I might want to actually do this and do view to freeze top row there. So I can scroll down, and now we're looking at the next one on the list, whatever it's going to be. It looks like it's going to be Pepe, ticker symbol PEPE, and the market cap for Pepe ranked at number 29 over here. It's going to be around $4 billion market cap. Copy that, paste it over here. Like it went up a little bit over the course of the past week. And Pepe US dollars on Coinbase. The closing price yesterday on the 4th was 50965. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 965. And so that did go up a little bit, down 38%. So it's probably another one that I should just be trying to get my average down on it. But yeah, my dip buy level, I guess, will be 5 zeros and a 9. My trim level will be 4 zeros and a 1 9. So just coming back over here to the chart. Let's just look at this retracement, and I'm just going to drag it forward into the future a little bit. Still going off that top from right over here. And yeah, coming down to really the low could be like 5 zeros and a 762. That's the 786. But then going to the upside, we've got this 100% Fibonacci extension in orange, which I'm just going to drag over here. So we got it going into the future. Still based on the low here, but that's around, 4 zeros and a 1 9. So the levels that I have marked, I think that they are fine. And this is Pepe, which I need to move up here. And that is one that copy and paste that. So, yep, I'm going to do that. And, yep, I can just come back over to this to look at the next one on the list, which is going to be Avalanche, ticker symbol AVAX. So if we look at the market cap for Avalanche, rank number 16, it's around $7.4 billion. And so I'm just going to paste that right here. Came down a little bit over the past week, or I imagine a little bit. And let's see, Avalanche, US dollars on Coinbase. We can see that the closing price from yesterday on the 4th was 1781. It's actually went up a little bit, so probably just about flat over the course of the past week. 7.5, 17.59. A little bit. Yeah, I mean, effectively flat. And so I'm down about 20% on this, so I'm not down as much as these other ones. So I think it's safe to say I should not be adding to this, although maybe I should be adding to it over Cardano. So that's something for me to think about, for me to consider. The dip buy or the add level for me in Avalanche looks like it was 16, and it's currently at 1767. The low over here was 1562. I'm just going to adjust this Fibonacci retracement. And if I drag it over into the future, we can see that the 786 is just below us around 1725. This green line here, 1625, kind of the consolidation lows over here, acted as support. Very nice dip at 1625. So Avalanche 16, I think it's fine. I don't need to get picky because I'm not planning on adding. So, you know, if it did go down to 16, the low over here, 15 to 62, yeah, I mean, I'd be buying. If I was to be buying, I don't plan on it. And then the level to the upside, 28. That's going to be based on this Fibonacci extension over here. And, oops, I want to make that on the right side. And if I do just drag this over to the future a little bit, still based on the low over here, it's around $27, $28, somewhere around there. And yeah, 28, it's 27.74. So 28, fine to leave that. And let's see, I want to be looking over at this. So I'm leaving those levels. I'm going to have the alerts, but I need to make sure actually, did I buy any Avalanche over the past week? I did not. So, but down 20%, which is more than this. So, yeah, I mean, I need to consider adjusting the orders here. But yeah, what are some that I didn't? Yeah, I'm not going to get into it. Some of them I may not need to adjust, but I'll just leave it. Yeah, okay, and then so now checking out the official Trump coin, ticker symbol TRUMP. And let's check out the coin market cap for that one. Ranked number 45. It's around $1.7 billion. Down from being around $2 billion at some point. Came down over the course of the past week. If we do look over here at Trump coin, US dollar on Coinbase, we can see that the closing price on the 4th was $8.50. And so, yeah, right across the board, it was around 18 and 9, and now it's around 17 and 8.50. It's down a little bit, down 33%. So, yep, that's one that I'd probably want to do an addition to. And let's see. What are the dip buy levels for Trump? That would be $9. Currently trading below that. So, yeah, I mean, maybe I want to be adding to it. But what's that going to be based on? That's really just based on, this 786 fib retracement, which if I just extend this over, and that's going to be based on the high from over here. It's around $9, $9.14. This green line here, got rejected from that level, then broke above it. Pull back, that's around $8.71. And then looking at a level to the upside from this fib extension, we can see that is going to be around $17.59. And well, it's still, yeah, I mean, it's still the same low from the 22nd of June. So I'm just going to drag this over so it's lined up with the other one. And so, yeah, it's around 1759. And I have it at 17, just to get a fill. And so the next one down from Avalanche is going to be that Trump coin. All right. And then the next one on the list is going to be Uniswap, ticker symbol UNI. And let's check out the market cap of Uniswap, ranked number 27, about $4.3 billion market cap. And got that there. Came down a little bit over the past week, or at least I imagine a little bit. Uniswap, US dollars on Coinbase, and the closing price from yesterday, June 4th, 6.935, so 6.935. Actually went up a little bit, so it's probably more or less flat over the course of the past week. So 4.3, 6.9, 4.4, 6.9, more or less flat. And, I did place a buy order for this one because the order that I had placed on, what was it, Aave, because I'm right around the average, I decided to move that over to Uniswap. And so I should probably keep daily dollar cost averaging with Uniswap because I am down, it looks like about 33% on it. And yeah, let's just look over here. The dip buyer, the ad levels around 650. And so where might that be coming from? Probably around this Fibonacci retracement. And so we can see from that, just going to extend it forward a little bit into the future. Still based on the highs over here. 650, is that what I said? 650. Yep, so that would be like, a little bit lower than this 50% retracement. That's at $6.62, so 650 right around here where the cursor is. Not getting so far down to the 618, which was already tested over here, so 650. I think that's fine. Level to the upside. It's going to be this Fibonacci extension. And so if we look at that, it looks like the price is around $10. And that is still based on the low over here. So that looks good. So $10. Uniswap 1055. Why do you say 1055? What's my average? That's probably why I said 1055. So my average, 10. Yeah, 10. I'll just leave it, but this is me just being lazy because my average could be a little bit lower than that. But yeah, 1006. So 1055, I'll just leave it. Or no, actually, maybe I should adjust it to like 1035. So I'll do 1035. That is one that I need to do there. And do this. So, yep. All right. And, yeah, the next one on the list, the next ones are kind of, not so exciting, but Loopring, or actually Fartcoin's probably pretty exciting, but I'm not holding any. So, but yeah, Loopring, ticker symbol LRC. Let's check out the market cap for that one. Ranked 324, or a $97 million market cap. And over the past week, market cap did go down. I think it was at 99 last week, but we'll check that in a second. Once we add Loopring, LRC, LRC, US dollar Coinbase. So closing price from yesterday on the 4th was 7.26 cents. So 7.26 cents. Came down some, down 62% my position. It's not one I plan on adding because I've got to go through Uphold, and that exchange is not really the best. In my experience, I find Coinbase to be a little bit easier, and I don't know that I can actually get Loopring on Coinbase. So maybe that's why I'm not adding to it. It's a little bit more risky. But so from last week, Loopring was at $105 million, 7.6 cents. Now it's at 7.26. So came down a little bit, but not an insane amount. And so the dip by a level that I consider, it's right around that 7 cents, 19 cents is the trim level based on, my average, which has not changed. And so, yeah, I think that those are fine to leave them. And for that, NA, I'm not touching it. And, but yeah, let's just look at the chart here, though. So this fib retracement, just to include, the levels on the right, has pulled back lower than the 786. So this is, just kind of crappy. 9 cents, 8.69 cents is the 786. This does have, maybe there's a trend line. Nah, it just looks like crap. But yeah, this level to the upside, still, the same low. So maybe that's still a target to the upside. And so that would be dragging this over based on that low from June 22nd, which was at a price of 6.58 cents. And so the upside target would be around 11.79 cents, which is lower than my average. So that's why I've got that over there. And now let's just look at Fartcoin. This is what I'm kind of bummed about. This is ticker symbol Fartcoin. So the market cap for it is ranked number 61, about $1.1 billion. And that did not copy the correct number. Let's just paste that there. There we go. And so that did go up a little bit, maybe a lot over the past week. And so now let's just check out Fartcoin. And I wanted to do the, I think this is one I was looking at on Kraken. Yep, so this looks like my style. And the closing price from yesterday was $117.57. So $117.57. This is what bums me out about it. I almost bought at 84 cents because it had come down to my dip level of 80 cents. I resisted because I was dip buying a bunch of other stuff. And, I didn't place an order, so I don't have a position. I'm still just going to leave it just to watch, have some discipline, 80 cents. And then the trim level would be 185. So let's just look at that over here. Adjusting this to include values on the right. Still, the top over here. And let's see, 80 cents just above this. Maybe 80 cents will be visited again. Maybe we'll come down to the 618, which is right around 75.5 cents. So that's a possibility. Then the upside level, let's see, 100% extension is going to be to around 78.79 cents, still based on the low from over here. I have that at 185. Oh, because that's a 786. So the 100% extension is 222. Why did I pick 85? 185. Oh, probably because it came lower. So I probably want to adjust that to, oh no, the 786. Yeah, it's 192. Or, the highs over here, all-time highs, 192. over here. I'll just leave it because I don't really care, because I don't have a position. But 85 cents. So yeah, I'll leave that. I can leave that alone. And yeah, I'm just going to come back, kind of do a little bit of an overview. So for my positions, I'm doing the daily dollar cost average at Bitcoin. That's using Strike. And so Robinhood, I don't want to have more than 7. Dip buys just because it gets to be a pain to add all of it. So I do, or not dip buys, but daily dollar cost averaging. So Ethereum, I've got 1 there. And then coming down, looking at these that are below or at 20%. Let's see, I've got Uniswap, Trump Coin, Pepe. Let's see, XLM. So I'm just going to not do it with the hand. I'm just going to count them. So we can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so I should cancel the Cardano one. And I should cancel. Actually, no, I should not cancel the Ethereum Classic. I should not place one for Avalanche, because my Ethereum Classic is down more percentage-wise. And so let's see. And then Doge, unfortunately, I've got to NA that one because I'm down only 6%. Maybe if I trim, at break even, then I could justify doing, some dollar cost averaging, but I haven't done that. So let's see. With these, I've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for daily dollar cost averaging in Robinhood. Dip buy for Ondo, dip buy for RLC, and then dip buys for Ethereum and Bitcoin. And so yeah, I've got some of these that I need to check, and I will have to revisit my weeklies to make sure that all of these are correct. And I'll be going through that after I'm done recording this video. And then yeah, looking at kind of the chart over here, I do need to, let's see. So I just need to adjust the chart a little bit. And so, I just want to move the key over. Yeah, I might have to adjust that for next week's video because it's getting a little tight. But actually, what I could do is move the key down here, right like that, and then squash it. There we go. Yeah, I mean, that's got all of them on there. But then, yeah, I can extend that. Ooh, not like that. Whoops. But yeah, I can just extend this a little bit over. And so we've got all of that. And I'm going to actually increase that a little bit because we can see RLC right there. It's this one on the key. Oh, and actually I should probably you can see them all for the most part. Actually might do this a little bit over. Okay, so yeah, I mean, the only ones that I'm green on right now are Ethereum and Bitcoin. Everything else is negative. Uniswap has performed well. That's going up, as well as Aave has performed very well, just about at break even there. Also with Solana, and then also XRP right around break even. So yeah, I mean, we could see over here the percentages. So Doge barely down, Solana barely down, Aave barely down, and XRP barely down. But we can also see those over here. So the ones I'm green on, Ethereum and Bitcoin, Doge down a little bit, Solana and XRP down a little bit, Aave down a little bit, and everything else down kind of a lot. And so I'll just be doing these daily dip buys just based on how negative these positions are. Not doing Avalanche because I'm down more on Ethereum Classic. But yeah, I mean, that is the video for today, less than an hour and a half, so that's looking good. But yeah, if you did find this helpful, or I should say, but as always, those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more weekly Crypto Corner Sat Stackers on Saturdays. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a great rest of your holiday weekend. Take care, you guys.